Let's talk about ABO blood types. And to do that, let's start with a question. Do you know what type of blood cell is involved in determining a person's blood type? I listed the possibilities as being erythrocytes, the 5 different types of leukocytes, and platelets. So you might be surprised to learn that the blood type a person has, whether it's A, B, AB, or O, has 100% to do with the erythrocytes. It has nothing to do with white blood cells or platelets. The ABO blood groups have to do with 2 sugars that might be present on the surface of red blood cells. One is sugar A or antigen A, and the other one is sugar B or antigen B. Those antigens are either genetically present or absent on the surface of our red blood cells. Let's use this simple chart that I made up to take a look at ABO blood types. In the first column, you can see I'm listing the 4 possible blood types, A, B, AB, and O. And then in the second column, I'm trying to draw the antigens that are associated with those types. So for instance, a person with type A blood has sugar A on the surface of their red blood cells. A person with type B blood has sugar B on the surface of their red blood cells. A person with type AB blood has both sugar A and sugar B on the surface of the red blood cells. And then a person with type O does not have either sugar A or sugar B on the surface. That's pretty straightforward, but let's take a look at the third column, the antibody column. If a person does not have sugar A or sugar B, that person will produce antibodies against the sugar that they don't have. And so taking a look at the type A blood, we know they have sugar A on the surface of their red blood cells, but because they lack sugar B, notice that automatically in their plasma is circulating anti-B antibodies. A person with type B blood is automatically circulating anti-A antibodies. A person with type AB blood, because they have both sugar A and sugar B, wouldn't produce antibodies against either of those antigens. But a person with type O blood, who doesn't have sugar A or sugar B, will produce antibodies against both A and B. If we're trying to figure out what type of blood would be permissible to give a recipient, the most important thing to consider is the type of antibodies that person is producing. If the person is producing antibodies against a specific sugar, you can't give a blood product that contains that specific sugar or specific antigen. In other words, a person with type A blood is producing anti-B antibodies. Therefore, you can't give a blood product that contains sugar B, like type B or type AB. A person with type B blood is automatically producing anti-A, which means that we can't give a blood product that contains antigen A, like type A or type AB. A recipient with type AB blood doesn't produce antibodies against either A or B. Therefore, we're not as worried about giving them sugar A or sugar B. Compared to a person that has type O blood, is producing both anti-A and anti-B antibodies, meaning that we can't give a product that contains sugar A or sugar B. If we gave type A, type B, or type AB, that person would launch an immune response against that blood product. Because type O blood doesn't contain antigens on the surface of the red blood cells, that type of red blood cell can be given to any type of recipient, regardless of the type of antibodies they're producing. That's why type O is known as the universal donor. At the same time, take a look at type AB blood. Because they don't produce any antibodies, they could receive anything, theoretically. And that's why type AB blood is considered to be the universal recipient.